What if everything you thought you knew was a lie? The heroes you trusted, the battles you fought, all manipulated by the very evil you've sworn to destroy. Episode 7 of The Rings of Power turns trust into betrayal and fate into tragedy. This changes everything. Can you believe it? We're just 1 week away from the Season 2 finale of The Rings of Power. It feels like only yesterday we were talking about Sauron's big reveal, Celebrimbor's forge, and Galadriel's struggle to balance vengeance with destiny. And now, here we are, with tensions at an all-time high and every character poised for life-altering decisions. Episode 7 of The Rings of Power pulls no punches, throwing us headfirst into the flames, both literally and figuratively. Today, we're breaking down all the key moments from Episode 7, plot twists, heartbreaking losses, and revelations that left me on the edge of my seat. So if you haven't seen it yet, hit pause, go watch it, and come back. Spoilers are coming, like massive spoilers. You've been warned. Let's dive in where it all begins. Eregion. The contrast between the calm, almost serene opening with Celebrimbor sipping his tea on the balcony and the chaos that's bubbling just beneath the surface is beautifully unsettling. For a moment, you'd think the city was at peace, with nothing to trouble our master smith beyond his work on the Nine Rings. But oh, how wrong that is. The illusion cracks. Celebrimbor's reality shifts. Let's dive in where it all begins. Eregion. The contrast between the calm, almost serene opening with Celebrimbor sipping his tea on the balcony and the chaos that's bubbling just beneath the surface is beautifully unsettling. For a moment, you'd think the city was at peace, with nothing to trouble our master smith beyond his work on the Nine Rings. But oh, how wrong that is. That subtle crack in his illusion, the reflection showing him as weary, grimy, and definitely not safe, sets the tone for what comes next. Celebrimbor is being gaslighted, and we can see the doubt creeping in, though he's still not able to fully grasp what's real and what's not. The moment Annatar enters, we see just how deeply this influence runs. Celebrimbor's mind is being manipulated, and it's only getting worse. But while Celebrimbor's mind is unraveling, the physical danger to Eregion is very real. Outside, Adar and the orcs are closing in, with plans far more destructive than a simple raid. And in case anyone was still doubting Annatar's motives at this point, well, let's just say the signs are becoming harder and harder to ignore. Elves under siege. Annatar tightens his grip. I love how Episode 7 weaves these parallel threads, the battle raging just beyond Eregion, and Celebrimbor's internal battle with his own reality. The juxtaposition makes the tension unbearable in the best way. Myrddania, our commander of the elven troops, is clearly suspicious, but Annatar, ever the master manipulator, keeps things just vague enough to maintain control. He tells the troops that Celebrimbor can no longer give orders, that he will take command. And just like that, the strings are pulled. Annatar, our helper, has essentially taken over the city. Myrddania tries to resist, but she's tragically unaware of the full extent of the danger she's in. Annatar, or should I say Sauron, is no longer just playing mind games. He's orchestrating a siege, both mentally and physically. And in a scene that I found absolutely heartbreaking, Celebrimbor's growing awareness that something is horribly wrong gets ignored by those around him. You really feel for Celebrimbor here. He's a genius, a craftsman whose work has literally shaped the future of Middle-earth. And yet, in this moment, he's vulnerable, confused, and alone. That creeping horror, that his city is burning while he sits trapped in an illusion of safety, well, it's masterfully done, and you know that things are only going to get worse. Dwarves, elves, and an unlikely reunion. Now we pivot to Khazad-dûm, where things are equally intense, though in a completely different way. Narvi delivers news of the siege on Eregion, and we see King Durin, a king who's already losing his grip on power and reality, delighted at the elves' misfortune. But Prince Durin and Princess Disa? They've got other priorities. They're in the mines, trying to prevent further destruction, and King Durin wants them gone. One of the standout moments in this episode for me was the reunion of Durin and Elrond. After an entire season apart, their friendship still holds up as one of the most heartwarming dynamics of the show. They're each dealing with the weight of their own worlds collapsing, but for just a brief moment, we get that light-hearted banter that made them so endearing in Season 1. It's so refreshing, seeing them support one another. Durin admits that he's essentially leading a coup against his father, while Elrond admits that the elves are on the verge of losing everything. And yet, despite the gravity of their situations, they still find comfort in each other's company. It's a moment of respite, but we know it won't last long. Celebrimbor's revelation, the true face of Sauron. This is it, the moment we've all been waiting for. The moment where Celebrimbor finally realizes that Annatar is no friend, no ally sent by the Valar. Annatar is Sauron. The 9 rings he's been forging, not tools of unity or protection, but tools of enslavement. And when Celebrimbor throws that hammer and the illusion shatters, chills. That was the moment the full weight of Sauron's deception crashed down. The Mithril wasn't Mithril at all. It was Sauron's blood. The 9 kings of men are doomed to become the Nazgul, bound to Sauron through rings forged with his own essence. The stakes have never been higher. And here's where the episode delivers one of its most gut-wrenching blows: Celebrimbor's desperate attempt to warn Myrdania, to tell her the truth, only for her to reject him. It's so tragic because we, the audience, know he's telling the truth. We know that Sauron has been pulling the strings this whole time, but to her, it just sounds like the delusions of a broken man. And then, the unthinkable happens. Celebrimbor, under Sauron's subtle control, accidentally hurls her over the wall into the waiting orcs. It's brutal, it's heartbreaking, and it's one of the darkest moments we've seen yet in the series. Elrond, Galadriel, and the battle for Eregion. Now, let's talk about that epic final battle sequence. Elrond's forces arriving just as the orcs begin their assault on Eregion. Perfection. The wide shots of the armies clashing, the elves leaping into battle, and the orcs, relentless as ever. It's truly some of the best battle choreography we've seen so far. And then, we get a moment that will surely be talked about for weeks. Elrond kisses Galadriel. Yes, you heard me. And it's not some casual goodbye peck. It's a passionate, romantic kiss in the middle of a literal war zone. I did not see that coming. What did you all think? Was it earned, or did it feel out of place? Love it or hate it, that kiss definitely sets up a whole new dynamic between the two characters. And with Galadriel's fate hanging in the balance as the episode ends, I'm already bracing for a gut-wrenching finale. Predictions for the finale. With everything that's happened, I can hardly imagine how they're going to wrap this season up. Will Celebrimbor manage to escape Sauron's influence? Can Elrond and Galadriel survive the impending battle? And where are the dwarves? Durin and Disa's forces could be the game-changer in this war, but will they make it in time? One thing's for sure. Whatever happens, we're in for an explosive, unforgettable finale. The pieces are set, the stakes are sky-high, and we are just one step away from a cataclysmic showdown between light and darkness.